I wouldn't say anything on. I wouldn't say anything on the album is bad. There's definitely like less memorable songs, like the Judas Kiss and like tracks like that, maybe.
Oh,
Because I haven't heard it in a long time, but I mean, I'm just going off
yeah.
the top of my head.
What I found with its follow up, Hardwired, is the more I listened to it, the more I came to appreciate it, and the more I liked it.
Yeah, because I only listened to it once, and I mean, there's only a couple songs I really like, but like for me, like a lot of the songs, I mean, it's kind of weird. They opened up and closed with their like best songs, the fast, thrashy songs, and then the rest of the album is kind of like a mid-tempo, like
Yeah, the rest of the album is like a mix of everything that they were into before they invented thrash metal.
yeah,
It's a mix of like
it's not
traditional
bad.
metal and speed metal and all that, and like whatever the fuck you want to call Venom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like in that type of vein. But like I think "Spit Out the Bones" one of their best songs, "Sins and Justice," in my
Yeah,
opinion.
Spit Out the Bones,
That's a
fucking
great track.
phenomenal. I love that song. It's got a great video too.
Oh hell yeah! I kind of wish they had more songs like that, honestly, because I mean, it takes you for a ride, just like their older, longer songs.
Yeah, they hunt you down without mercy. It's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
that,
one
that
of the
was
cool
all
things
Nightmare
about
Long.
Metallica.
Never mind. I'm getting my
Yeah.
songs confused.
I mean, it's kind of on the same level because even that song takes you on a ride with its riffs, and it goes from this tempo to this tempo, and that was the cool thing about Metallica's music back in the day.
Yeah,
Longer songs, and
especially Ride the Lightning, Puppets, and Justice.
yeah,
I mean, their first one, amateur songwriting. I love it, but it's amateur songwriting, simple thrash, and
they're
nothing
actually
more.
yeah. A lot of
And
Dave Mustaine writing credits, and
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with being amateur. Like there are some damn good albums that are just that. Like the Ultraviolence by Death Angel is really fucking good, and that's all it is. I don't know if you've heard it, bro. Are you there? You there? The fuck?
hello,
Hello?
is it work? Oh, yeah, there we go. It works now.
What the fuck was that?
I just cut out randomly for absolutely no reason. It just stopped working for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. But I was saying, there are some damn good albums that are just pure, simple, kind of amateur thrash, like The Ultraviolence by Death Angel is a really, really good album, and that's all it really is.
Yeah,
Have you heard that one?
yeah, like a couple songs. Yeah,
It's killer riffs from beginning. It's got a really long. It's got a lengthy instrumental on it that sounds like. Okay, it sounds like the band went, okay, so we have all these riffs that we don't know what to do with. Let's just stack them all on top of each other into a 15-minute long track and give it no vocals. Kind of weird, but it's cool though. The drummer was 14 when he recorded that shit. Can you believe that?
and that's kind of like Warbringer is the same way. I think
Yeah.
their first album.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, "You're kidding me!" The drummer. Imagine having like an album professionally released by a recording studio, record company, and all that when you're 14 years old. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, for real.
You eat grenade, bitch. He probably kills me.
I was just still recording my voice because I had to unplug my mic and everything.
Yes, it's still capturing your.
Oh, okay, that's good. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay. These heavily armored guys are a pain in the ass. So, for my Memorial Day weekend, I went to a movie trading company, which there's a chain of them, but I got one very near me that I go to frequently. Like they deal in mostly used movies, DVDs and Blu-rays, but they also have music on vinyl and on CD and a bunch of video games too. Yep, there he killed me. And they had a Memorial Day sale for DVDs and Blu-rays where it was buy two, get one. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to go get myself some movies. So I went and I got Logan on Blu-ray, and if you haven't seen Logan, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the best X-Men films. Absolutely one of the best X-Men films. And the Blu-ray comes with a black and white noir version of it, which is really cool because it's got like very good striking visuals in it that work very well for a black and white kind of look to it.
Yeah.
And I have been wanting to watch that version of it for a while. I saw it at the theater and saw the color version at the theater. It was like, it's a great film. It really is. Sad though. Like if you're invested in the X-Men franchise and you've been following Patrick Stewart playing Xavier and Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine and all these other characters for a long time, it'll probably make you sad. But still, give it a watch. It's a very good film. And then I got Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember hearing about it back in the day when it first launched on TV.
Yeah.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, so did I. I've always heard it was a good show, and I never got to watch it. But if you don't know what Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles is, it basically takes place in between. It was designed to take place in between Terminator 2 and 3, because 3 had already been released by this point, and it's like 3 just kind of invalidates the ending of 2. It's like 3 just goes, okay, the ending of 2 didn't happen, which is bullshit.
I always hated that about that. It's like, oh, Judgment Day is inevitable. Just screw it. Screw it. We're all doomed.
And they used that as a launching pad to make a TV show, where the TV show got 2 seasons and was never resolved.
Also, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, apparently it ends on a cliffhanger.
Nice.
And I got season 1 on DVD. I will give Terminator 3 this. It's a stupid movie that really doesn't do much in the way of justifying its own existence. And sequels after it only exist because it exists. But it had a good, surprisingly smart ending that was a big surprise. You remember how it ended?
On Terminator 3?
Yeah.
Oh, when they go in like the bunker and try to stop the nukes or whatever. And it just happens.
Yeah, they go to the bunker and you find out that the Terminator's job was not to stop Judgment Day from happening. It was
I remember that.
To get John Connor somewhere safe so that he survives Judgment Day.
Oh, okay. I just remember that.
Yeah. And that's actually a good twist. Wasted on a stupid, pointless movie. But I'll give it. So I will give it that, and I will give it the fact that it's got fun action sequences. They're not James Cameron level fun action sequences, because James Cameron, say what you want about like Avatar and Titanic, the guy knows how to direct a fucking action sequence.
Oh, hell yeah, definitely.
Go watch Terminator 1 and 2 and Aliens and then True Lies and tell me they don't have awesome action sequences. True Lies is intentionally stupid and over the top, but because it's a comedy, but still it's fun.
Yeah. He's got talent, though.
Yeah. I really like those 4 flicks.
Like even the second half of Titanic has some good action sequences. I mean, like not really action, but like just like I guess tragic sequences or tragic action sequences.
Titanic was a well-directed. I mean,
Yeah.
all those movies are well-directed and visually striking. He's very good at that. Avatar was well-directed and visually striking with a dumb as shit plot that was basically...
Yeah.
I mean, take your pick as to what it's ripping off. Pocahontas, Dances with Wolves, Fern Gully, you know?
So, yeah, I think all those movies have like a similar plot when I think about it.
Yeah.
Like this, like the guy who's working for this organization or government or whatever it may be goes to the natives and becomes one of their own, and he fights the group he was working for originally, and it's like that type of plot. It's like exactly the same. I mean, I wouldn't say exactly the same, but it's the same vein as like Pocahontas, pretty much the same type of movie.
Yeah, and the whole humans are bad nonsense. That Avatar was visually gorgeous.
It was a good movie.
I can't take that away from it, no matter how dumb it is.
Like honestly, the first time I saw it was like a Russian bootleg with like sometimes during the movie these like Cyrillic subtitles would pop up on the bottom of the screen, like these Russian subtitles. Because I watched it at my uncle's house. He got like a bootleg DVD of it at the time before it became on like DVD and shit like that.
Yeah, I actually saw it in the theaters in 3D, and getting to see it in the theaters in 3D was a pretty cool experience. Like, for the most part, I don't like 3D. I don't think the industry has used 3D particularly well, but it was used well there, you know?
Yeah, I wish I would have really seen it in 3D, honestly. That's kind of one of the big things about the movie at the time was like the whole reason it was like shot in 3D and really takes advantage of the depth you can get with 3D.
It's not ultra gimmicky about it. It's not like, whoa, let's stick this thing right in your face because 3D.
This thing's flying up in your face. Oh, look at that. It's just more about like depth and like things like that, like showing different levels of depth.
Yeah, it used 3D intelligently, which most movies don't.
I haven't seen a 3D movie in years in theaters.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I think the last one I've seen in theaters was like Nightmare Before Christmas. Obviously, that wasn't shot in 3D or anything, but I mean, it was so interesting.
I saw Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton one.
Oh, the Tim Burton one, yeah.
And I kept forgetting that it was in 3D because the 3D was like they're like, oh, well, 3D is popular, so we were going to add it to this movie after the fact. And it's never very good when you do it that way, so I kept forgetting that it was in 3D. And then I would take my glasses off and go, oh, yeah, it's blurry without these.
Yeah, I would do that too. It's always fun. Like anything 3D.
Yeah.
I mean, like we actually have like 3D movies. We have 3D glasses and stuff at our house, and sometimes we watch certain things. Like even like we watched a Nightmare, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. There's like a 3D version that actually looks pretty decent, surprisingly. I mean, it's obviously like a black and white old horror movie, but like the depth's still there. Yeah. So I think even at the time they had like 3D movies and stuff like that. And I think that was one of the 3D movies at the time.
Yeah, 3D has become a fad like twice in the past. Like,
yeah.
One of the Jason movies was in 3D. One of the Jaws movies was in 3D. Shit like that.
The Jaws 3D, the Jaws 3.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was like a big gimmick in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. And it kind of like died out. Like, you don't really hear about 3D shit anymore.
Every once in a while, you'll get a movie like that'll like the last How to Train Your Dragon film came out in 3D.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen any of those.
I've seen the first one. I think the first and the second one. I think they're not bad movies, honestly.
Yeah, I never finished talking about Sarah Connor Chronicles. So I got the first season of it, and I wanted to see it for a while now, and I never got to watch it. So now I'm finally going to sit down and see it. And luckily enough, this is one of the DVDs that will upscale all the way to 4K on my Xbox One X, because they won't all do that. Like Lord of the Rings does that, and I watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 4K that way. Then I discovered that Predator wouldn't do that, so I have to watch Predator in 1080p. Sad times.
Yeah.
I would love to watch Predator in 4K.
That'd be really cool.
It's an awesome film. But and I've actually watched 2 episodes of it so far. I'm impressed, dude. Like, for the most part, you have to have allowance for it being a TV show, right?
Yeah.
In terms of special effects and it being a big action sequence with robot people, it's going to rely heavily on special effects, just like the Terminator films did. And the special effects, the practical ones, are pretty damn good. Some of the CG ones are a little questionable, but for the most part, you know, when you accept that it's a TV show, it's easy to forgive. It's not going to look as good as the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't have the budget for it. But
yeah,
I was actually rather impressed with it.
I mean, I heard it was good, so I mean... I was just most curious what the story was.
It deals... it's like John is a teenager, and he's frustrated with having to move from place to place all the time to try to, like, avoid the FBI stuff, because the FBI is chasing them in connection with what's his name? The guy that was working at Cyberdyne in Terminator 2.
Oh god, yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. What the hell is his name?
Dyson?
Dyson, yeah, Dyson something, yeah.
I think it was Miles Dyson.
Miles Dyson or
something like that. Yeah, like the FBI the FBI believes that she's responsible for his death, so they're trying to, like, hunt her down and capture her. So they keep having to move from place to place. It is about, like, how they deal with that, and then another Terminator shows up to try to kill John, and then another one shows up, and the one that shows up to try to kill John is male, and then another one shows up that's, like, looks like a teenage girl, like maybe 18, shows up to protect John. And this was written far enough back that it's not played for social justice, like, oh, female Terminator, good guy. Celebrate how feminist we are because female Terminator, good guy. It's not that. That they don't play up the fact that she's female or anything. It's just well written. I'm impressed with it. Especially for a TV show. Like, this has intrigued me far more than Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation ever did. So far.
Because even, like, Salvation wasn't too bad. I mean, compared to, like, Terminator 3. I mean, at least it tried something new.
Yeah. In the first episode, it's got this whole plot, it's got this whole twist to it where the Terminator John Connor from the future had sent people back in time to gather up components to build futuristic, like, laser weapons and shit to fight the Terminators with. And they had hid all the banks, all the parts in a bank, like safety deposit box, and a whole bunch of safety deposit boxes in a bank. So they open all those up, and they start to build it while the Terminator's chasing them down and trying to force its way into the bank vault.
Yeah.
And then they have all these other parts hidden that were used to build a thing to travel forward or backwards in time or whatever. and it deals with like how does she hide herself by getting fake IDs, and who does she get fake IDs from, and all this other kinds of stuff. It's genuinely interesting and a pretty intriguing way to go about it. I'm fascinated with it. I'm looking forward to watching more. So I'm impressed with it so far.
That's cool.
It's only 2 episodes I watched.
Well, like, what was it, like 8 or 10 episodes per season?
There's 9 episodes in season 1.
Oh, okay.
Season 2 was significantly longer, and it was canceled after season 2.